Hey guys, this is Jess with Cardinal Signs. I hope that you're doing well. So let's take a peek at what's coming in for you for the upcoming week. So I'm looking at earth, air, fire, and water signs. You'll find the timestamps linked in the description box below. So starting with earth, what can earth signs expect for the upcoming week? Okay, so some of you might be wishing that something was different than the way that it is. This can be, I'm getting the sense of family, something in a family relationship or a dynamic that's going on within your family life. There can be, I'm hearing siblings, so if you have siblings, there might be some tension or just something that is bugging you and you wish that it was a little easier, a little freer, looser. This might be about how you communicate with each other. And perhaps something's coming up this week and it's just highlighting maybe just differences that you have. If you don't have siblings, it can be, of course, other family members, that there's just something going on here and you're wishing things were a little bit different. So what else for earth? Okay, so tied to the first message, you might actually be getting something off your chest regarding that. So you might be speaking up, letting things be known. It's kind of possible that it'll get messy, is how I'm being shown this message. But the end result is going to be kind of like a clean slate, or at least some sort of mutual understanding, and feeling like things have been cleaned up. And I'm also hearing like getting your act together, and this is mutual, going both ways. Okay, so these kind of things are coming through here. What else for earth signs? Some of you may be crunching some numbers. Some of you may be looking at your finances or seeing if you have enough resources to allocate to a particular project or endeavor that you're wanting to put some money into. For some of you, you are concerned about taking a risk with your money. You want to look more deeply into whether it makes sense to put your money in a particular place or avenue, project, whatever this might be, because you don't want to take a risk that is too extreme. Okay, so you want a little bit of security associated with your finances this week. What else for earth signs? Some of you may be wanting to preserve some things. Perhaps these are memories. Maybe writing them down, maybe going through old photographs. That might be coming up here too. This could be finally like going on your phone and developing some photos, because we don't really do that so much anymore. And so maybe you have some special memories that you want to preserve and make sure that you have them available for when you want to go back and look at them. It can come up a lot of different ways, but preserving experiences, preserving memories, that's a common theme here that's coming up here. What else for earth signs? For some of you, there is quite a bit of playful energy coming through here. If you feel that that's not talking about you, I'd like you to pause and consider and say, am I being a little bit too serious? How can I invite more of an element of play into my week? Because I'm seeing that it's going to be so beneficial and helping you to just lighten up a little bit. So this can be acting really not childish in a negative way, but just like free and open, and just having an attitude of exploring and not being judgmental, and just kind of like childlike wonder, allowing that to come through. This can also be doing things that you used to do a long time ago when you were little, or perhaps if you have children, whether your own or others in your life, maybe spending some time with them to allow their beautiful childlike innocence to rub off on you. That can be helpful for you this week. Some of you, I'm seeing like bruising. Okay, so this can be talking about a hurt that you currently have. It doesn't have to be physical. This can be emotional bruising that you're dealing with. There's something that's coming up this week. This can be something that has recently happened and you're still in a recovery process. You're still trying to, regain your composure is coming in here. You have some sort of wound possibly. It's not necessarily happening this week. I get the sense that for many it has already happened. But it's just like allowing yourself the nurturing that you need to recover from this. So final message for earth signs. Okay, so some of you need to ground your love life. This is a love message. I feel like it's a little bit insubstantial, or you're feeling perhaps, because I'm feeling it through this message, but it's like some sort of dissatisfaction, feeling like it's a little bit too up in the air, and like you want to have more of a tangible experience with your love life. So what can you do to ground your love life and root your love life into your day-to-day routine? So think about that. So I hope that these messages were helpful for you, earth signs. Moving on now to air. So air signs, let's see what's coming up for you for the upcoming week. I'm seeing you working cooperatively with other people. That's going to be a very strong theme for you this week. For some of you, you are going to be called upon to take a leadership position in whatever group work or collaboration that comes up here. For others of you, this is a very... it's like everybody has a very specific role, and you might actually rotate responsibility is what I'm seeing. So it's the need to be able to wear many different hats whenever you're called upon to perform a certain function. So this is being really quick on your feet, being able to communicate very effectively with other people. Going to be very important this week. But however that comes up, I see things going very smoothly. It's being shown to me almost like this orchestrated dance. Like everybody knows their role. Everybody's performing their part very well, and you're functioning cohesively as a very successful team. What else for air signs? Some of you may feel that something has fallen through the cracks, and you may be kind of going back and trying to find whatever that was. You may have to sift through a lot of different things, whether it's actual physical, tangible things, or it could also be information that you're needing to sift through. But there is the sense that you're aware that something has escaped you, and it's like you're doubling back and trying to collect whatever that was, or recover whatever that was. What else for air signs? Okay, so some of you may be a little bit uncomfortable. I'm being shown that it's more like a physical discomfort or being uncomfortable with your environment. But this can obviously come up in other ways too. Some of you may need to invest in the proper gear. So for whatever it is that you're doing, so like the proper shoes, maybe your shoes need an upgrade, or you need a new jacket for change of season because the one that you have just isn't cutting it. So that kind of thing, like investing in gear, whatever that means for you, clothing, tools, that's going to allow you to function a lot more comfortably and effectively. What else for air signs? Okay, so I'm seeing a domino effect beginning. So there's something happening this week that is going to kind of create this domino effect of things falling one after the next after the next. So this is an important week for you to make sure that you're thinking very carefully before you take any significant actions. Okay, so it's almost like you need to have this long distance perspective and be able to see, okay, if I do this, what will happen next and what will happen next. So if you're good at that kind of thing, definitely tap into that ability to kind of almost like have a premonition of what things are going to unfold and in what way and in what order. So you may be able to tap into that ability more easily this week. What else for air signs? Okay, so again, we already talked about group work, but now I'm being shown a highlight on two people working in tandem, working towards the exact same goal, doing the same thing, and needing to really coordinate very closely what they're doing to ensure that whatever this is pulled off without a hitch. Okay, so it's a very intimate sort of working with another person. It doesn't have to be in your career. This can be at home. This can be with a primary partner where you're working very closely together towards the same goal. I'm seeing very peaceful energy between you. I'm not seeing any hiccups. It's just that it's highlighted. This is a very important week for working very closely with another person in particular. Okay, so they're just saying make sure that you're on the same page. So if you're working towards the same goal and you're doing the same things to get there, just be sure that your thoughts of what this end goal is going to be is the same as what your partner's thoughts are going to be of what this end goal is, to make sure that you don't get out of sync here. Okay, so that's the only thing to be careful of. Maybe just have that conversation and make sure that you're on the same page. Final message for air signs. Okay, so I'm seeing you recognizing that something needs to be released because it needs to be free. There's a sense of setting something free. This can be a hope within you that you're letting go and setting free. It can come up in so many different ways. This can also be allowing another person, because this is a very collaborative week for you, this can be allowing another person the space that they need to create more freely without feeling like they're being micromanaged. It can come up like that. But it's like you're recognizing that there is something here that needs to be given more space, given room to really blossom and develop. So allow it the chance, is what the message is coming through here to say. So I hope that those messages were helpful for you, air signs. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I forgot to wear my turquoise bracelet, and you know what? Little stumbles happen. So take care of yourself, and I will see you again soon. Moving on now to fire. What's coming in here for fire signs? Okay, so you're coming in here with really big energy, fire signs. So it's like you want everything to be extra extravagant or extra big. So if things are modest or mediocre, that's just not going to fly for you. It's like you want the best of the best. You want the extra large everything. Okay, so those kind of things are coming through here for you. So if that's not prudent for you this week, it's just recognizing that you may need to temper that energy or that desire a little bit so that you're able to live more realistically. So what else for fire signs? Okay, so I'm seeing that there's something very big that you're trying to tackle. Again, this very big energy coming through here. So it's enormous, and it's kind of like, how do you eat an elephant, right? So it might seem almost impossible at this point where you are right now. Like, how do you even get started? Like, what do I do to begin? You may be asking yourself these things. The key is to recognize that it's like you just have to start just like one thing, and then you can do the next thing. So don't allow the enormity of something to hold you back. Okay, I don't feel like it's going to, because it feels like you have so much confidence right now coming through. So this is an excellent week to tackle very big projects that perhaps have intimidated you previously. But it's like just recognizing that you just have to start and just like do one thing at a time. You don't have to try to get it all done at once, and it's okay to just chip away at it as you're able. So what else for fire signs? Okay, some of you might be putting out little fires. So this might be things going on around you. Perhaps other people are having squabbles, or just there's kind of tension going on. I feel like it's external, and it's like you're having to make the peace and make sure that these people are functioning okay. And like I said, like putting out little fires. Okay, so this might be a bit tedious. It could possibly be a little bit draining, or prevent you from focusing on the things that you really should be getting done for your own sake, because you're having to tend to other people's dramas. So that could come up for you this week. What else for fire signs? Okay, so I'm seeing two things coming up here. This could be a decision week for you. They both look very promising. I don't get a very clear indication of if one is better than the other. To me, they're being shown as being equal. So if that's any help, if you're considering making a decision, you've got two different options in front of you. I'm being shown that you can't really go wrong. So hopefully that's helpful. Final message for fire signs. Okay, they're saying be the rose. What does that mean? Okay, often roses come up for me for like love messages. So you might be wanting to make some sort of gesture, like a romantic gesture to another person, for example. And rather than feeling the need to go out and buy something for them, it's like they're saying you're enough. Like, you're the rose. You don't have to buy them a rose. You're the rose. So it's like gifting your special person your time. Like, your time and your attention, your presence in their life is the gift. As long as you set that intention, and you're very intent on giving them your full attention when you're with them, and you're listening very carefully, because that is a really beautiful gift, especially for those who don't really put a lot of stock into material things, who don't really need little trinkets and bouquets of roses and that kind of thing. There are plenty of people out there who really just want to have quality time with their partner. So perhaps that's coming up for you this week as well. So I hope that these messages were helpful for you, fire signs. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. So I will see you again soon. Take care. Okay, so water. What's coming in here for water signs? Okay, so some of you are giving out some tough love is what I'm seeing. You might be saying to, it could be romantic, I get that sense, but it doesn't have to be. You may be saying to someone, you know, that's just the way it is, and end of discussion. So kind of putting your foot down, being very firm, not having a lot of sympathy is what I'm being shown. So it feels like perhaps it goes both ways though, and it's like maybe you were treated this way before, and so you're like, oh, if that's how it is, then I'm just going to give that right back to you. So you may be having to work through this kind of energy. It's pretty saucy energy. I can't say it's going to be particularly effective for your relationship, but it's something that you need to work through nonetheless. So it's kind of like just letting that energy work its way through you and pass along. What else for water signs? Okay, so some of you are, okay, so you're heading off in a particular direction, and it seems that you're kind of wanting to keep that quiet, or maybe like the progress that you're making, you want that to be private. You don't want to be like giving everybody like daily updates. Oh yes, I did this, I did that, I accomplished this. It's like, no, I really just want to keep what I'm doing to myself, and when I'm ready, when I have something a little bit more to show, perhaps I'll reveal it then. So possibly things aren't going along as quickly as you were hoping, or they're just not as spectacular and show-worthy as some people might expect, and so you're just like, okay, like I need my space. I'll let you know how things are going when I'm ready to. So that kind of energy is coming through. What else for water signs? Linked to that message, you may have had to backtrack. So there may have been something that happened, and you realized that you had to go back and fix something that you've already done, rework something, make some tweaks, and so your momentum has been slowed down. Like I said, it feels like you're not progressing as quickly as you had hoped or as others expected you to, but it's because you had to backtrack and fix something. There's an issue with like the quality of it. So that's just kind of a addendum to what we were talking about in the previous message. So what else for water signs? Okay, this seems to be quite focused on the same thing. I feel like these are all sort of linked together. So I'm being shown that once you have this fix in place, whatever needed to be you know, smoothed out or mended or repaired, whatever applies here for you, eventually you are going to have this like landslide of momentum kind of taking you through to the end of whatever this is. So don't despair if you feel that things are going very slowly and it's very frustrating for you right now. I am seeing, and they're saying November, things picking up and kind of like almost pushing you to the finish line of whatever this is. What else for water signs? You're really putting your personal touch on something. So it's like your own style, your sense of your sense of style, or your kind of like, I get this like your sensibility is coming through here, and you're putting that onto whatever it is that you're working on. So it's really becoming a true reflection of you, and your style, your way of thinking, your way of doing things. And so it's very much a labor of love that is coming through here, and you're going to feel that it's like you reflected externally. So it's a very interesting energy that's coming through. Like it's like your fingerprints are all over whatever this is. It's very you. Final message for water signs. Okay, so some of you are going to be using your kind of like veto power. So you may be having someone or a group of people come in and say, okay, well, what if you did it this way? We think you should do things like this. And you're sitting back and saying, okay, well, I hear you, but I'm gonna have to use my little veto power here and just say, no, we're gonna do it my way, because I'm the one with the vision. I'm the one really working on this project or whatever it is, and so we're going to continue with how I feel that we should go with it. So I do feel it's important to listen to other perspectives, but ultimately I'm seeing many of you, while acknowledging what was brought up, still continuing on with your current plans or trajectory. Okay, so those are the messages coming through here for you, water signs. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. So take care of yourself, have a beautiful week, and I'll see you again soon.